The reason I'm making this video is because there isn't anything that exists like this for skaters in the EASHL anymore. Ever since the 2BC days, we haven't had any big YouTubers making EASHL skater tips, which is disappointing because I guarantee a lot of us got into EASHL in the first place because of Johnny Superbman. This isn't something you're going to see on my channel again. I'm not remotely qualified to give skater tips, but the tips that these guys that I've interviewed today are bringing you will last you forever. These aren't specific to NHL 18, 19, 20, or whatever. They're going to be relevant for a long time. That's how good these are. The players in these videos are players that you should remember. When we talk about esports and NHL and some of the best sixes players to ever play the game, these guys are it. It would be like Mariano Rivera showing you how he throws his cutter, LeBron teaching you how to shoot, Crosby telling you what he thinks when he's on the ice. It's great. It's going to be like Nadeshot teaching to play COD, basically. There have already been so many guys pass through this game that aren't known outside the small sixes community. Guys like CC Piper, Jaqueezy, AJ Rockers, 47, LA Kings Faithful. All these guys played this game at such a high level, were in the best, and no one knows about them. So part of the reason I want to make this video is because these guys in Next Gen, which are a little different than the guys I just listed, are at the top level. They're the best players to play this game currently. The advice these guys are giving you, you're not going to find this anywhere else. And our first player is Skills Pay Bills 3. He's the left defenseman on Prophecy. And hands down, he is the best lefty in the game. He's been a large reason the team he's played on have won championships, or at least come close. Defensively, he's said to be the most frustrating player to play against. And offensively, he's able to add another level of intensity to his team's attack and open up a ton of space on the ice. I personally have never had much success against this guy, and there's really good reason why. His first tip for everyone: adjust your play style according to how your center plays. If your center is aggressive and loves to forecheck, don't pinch. If your center sits back and is a little more defensive, don't be afraid to hold the blue line sometimes to keep that puck in there. His second tip: rarely shoot turds. And when he says turds, he means low shots on net, kind of useless shots, because they always get blocked against good teams who are clogging the middle. And remember, this is coming from a D-man, okay? So if you're getting pressured and you shoot a puck at a guy's shins, it's going to get blocked and they're going to have a breakaway. You really have to make sure you open up that shooting lane before you take that shot. His third tip: if the other team is trapping, don't always dump it in. All that does is give away possession unless your wingers are really booking it to get that puck. Instead, take your time, circle back, and hit your wingers with speed. Remember, as a D-man, you're basically the quarterback of the breakout. His fourth tip: don't try to do too much in the offensive end at the blue line. Adjust to how the winger is playing you in the offensive zone. If he's sitting back, take your time, be patient, and look to make a play. If he decides to rush you, throw it back down low for your winger, or look for your center in the slot for an easy pass and an easy goal. His fifth tip: when you break the puck out, don't be afraid to pass the puck back to your D-man. Most of the time that will open up a pass for him to either the center or the winger, and they're going to be wide open. And he was generous enough to give us a sixth tip here. He said what he likes to do at his own blue line, when the winger's breaking it in, he'll go for a fake hit, and he'll stop before he obviously hits the guy. And what that's going to do is it's going to make the winger make a move. And you're going to learn something. Is he going to spin? Is he going to go try to do a through the legs deke? Or is he going to panic pass? Or is he just going to try and protect the puck? The more information you get out of this, the better. Because the next time you can either go in for that hit and make an aggressive push on him, or wait until he passes it, fake the hit again, and pick off that pass. He says this also works in 2-on-1 scenarios, as it might force a panic cross-crease pass, and if you did it right and are in the right position, you'll be able to intercept that. Next up, we have Tendy, and he's the right winger on Composure. And Tendy's highly regarded as a top forward in the league, and he's part of the core of Composure, who has been at the top team for a very, very long time. Creativity is Tendy's strong suit. He incorporates his understanding of game mechanics and the skill of his teammates into intricate plays that often result in goals. He understands the importance of puck possession, and it shows in his play style. Chances are a defender is not going to be able to get the puck off this guy. If they make an aggressive play, he'll make them pay by feeding the open man for a goal. So he's got some general tips for us. The first one being, Pick one build, get comfortable with it. Each build has different strengths and weaknesses, and it's better to just choose one and master it than switching builds every game. And that goes for in the future if we ever get customizable builds back. Make one build that you're comfortable with, you're happy with the height, you're happy with all the attributes, and then stick with it. Don't keep tinkering, man. You're not going to get better that way. His second tip, try and find a group of 5 people you enjoy playing with consistently. New gen games rely heavily on chemistry, and finding the right people to play with that match your style of play will lead to success. Now his next tips are gameplay tips. Number 3, if you have difficulty entering the zone at the blue line, try saucing the puck into the corner for your center or passing it around the boards to your left wing. He's a right winger, remember. You can also reset the play back to your defenseman. Don't feel pressured to skate into the zone if there's no space. 4, be patient with the puck. Don't force passes, and don't be afraid to use your DMEN in the offensive zone. And finally, number 5, if you're struggling to hit the net or scoring on one-timers, try aiming low. Goalies seem to stop higher shots easier than low shots, and you're going to hit the net more often, it seems. And I can confirm, I'm just going to jump in here as a goalie, glove side especially, I mean, we're reaching across the crease to save every high one-timer, even if we're not in position for it, so you're better off kind of shooting that low and forcing us to either kick out or rebound, or it's going to go in. Next up, we have Bass, and he's a left wing on BFD, and Bass has been around forever. I'm not kidding when I say this. He's been a top player at his position since early old gen hockey. He's been around forever. He's one of the few players who was able to adapt to the new gen style of hockey smoothly after being so elite on old gen and having that play style ingrained into his brain. He knows the ins and outs of new gen game mechanics better than most, and it really shows up in his play. This guy can do it all. He'll one-hand a goalie when they least expect it. He knows where to find his teammates at all times, and he has next-level offensive awareness. His first tip is controlling your speed will always put you in the best position possible. Too much speed reduces your puck control and gives you less control in critical situations when you need to react quick. Number 2, manage your endurance. You only need to use your burst a few times as a winger. You need to do it to go around a D-man or backcheck in certain situations. You'll need that burst to create or prevent a good scoring chance. If you manage it properly, you should be able to beat a D-man in a straight line at any point in the period. And always glide when you can to save that advantage. Now I'm going to hop in here as a game changer. I got something to offer with this. It seems like forwards are slower than defenders, but that's because forwards are constantly moving their left stick. When you glide, you actually recharge your boost. So if you got to pull a Phil Kessel and kind of glide around your defensive end a little bit to recharge, that's what's going to need to happen, and that's how you're going to save that boost for later in the period when you need it. Number 3, always stay moving. Even if you're barely moving, your player reacts a lot faster to the situation. Getting caught flat-footed is the worst possible thing in this game. Number 4, don't get caught watching the puck. Always look where your player is and get into position where you can either help offensively or defensively. Even if you don't get the puck, you can set a pick for a teammate, you can attract defenders to you, you can stretch the ice, you can have a big influence on a play even when you're not the one carrying the puck. His 5th tip, be patient with the puck, read and react to what your opponent is giving you, and take the free space when it's there. When you have body position on your defender, someone else will cheat and try and cover for him. That means one of your teammates will be wide open somewhere else. Next up we have Odie, and he's the right defenseman on Composure. Odie is the best right D in the game without question. As the owner of Composure, he's won a ton of games, championships, and always put together top level teams. Top players tend to gravitate towards Odie since he makes everyone around him on the ice that much better. Lower skill players who end up on the team with him are going to learn a ton from this guy since he's actively coaching and assisting his teammates on how to make their team chemistry that much better and take it to the next level. With Odie on right D, the puck won't see much time in your own end. This guy locks it down better than anyone else, and he can keep the puck in the opponent's zone, often resulting, and I'm not kidding here when I say this, in consistent double-digit time on attack, game in and game out. Composure, without a doubt, the #1 puck possession team in our competitive sixes league. They control the puck, honestly, on average, 10 minutes a game. His first tip, be aggressive with your pokes at your own blue line. Making it difficult for your opponents to enter the zone is a key thing in sixes. Number 2, be patient on the breakout. Read what your opponents are giving you and where your teammates are. This makes breaking into the offensive zone easier for both yourself and your teammates. That sounds awfully familiar. We've heard that a lot from a lot of players. Staying patient and making sure you're making the smart play. Number 3, use board play to your advantage. A lot of players have a tendency to hit guys when they're on the boards. Sometimes that leads to penalties or your opponent's getting the puck back. The board play or the pin, that's why on Xbox, triangle on PlayStation, makes it easier for your teammates to support you and pick up the puck. Number 4, stay calm throughout the game. Rough bounces are going to happen in next-gen hockey. Tilting or being mad when something goes wrong not only affects the way you play, but also the way your teammates play, and you can't have that. And his final tip, number 5, be constructive with your teammates. Next-gen hockey is all about chemistry with your teammates, being vocal with one another and letting each other know what you're thinking. Make sure everyone is on the same page. Now, you don't got to be mean about it. You just got to let them know in a friendly way, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking here. What do you think? You know, talk, communicate. It's going to help. Next up, we have Scary Joey, a center on Prophecy, and he's one of the best all-around centers in the game, providing these former ESHL Invite Division champions, Prophecy, with extremely balanced gameplay. One of the strongest defensive centers I've ever played with and played against, making it very easy for his goalies and his D-men to lock down the middle of the ice. Offensively, he has some of the best vision and awareness on the ice, and he's able to adapt to whatever forwards he's given. He has a couple general tips. First off, as a center, he wants to choose a build where it's good defensively and on face-off. Power forward and two-way forward are his 2 suggestions if you're looking to be defensive. Now, if you're playing with some defensive wingers and you're looking to carry the offense a little more, then maybe use Jumbo Playmaker. His second tip, if you can't find 5 other players when you're first starting out, start with 3 players and then slowly find other players to add to your team. The more you play with the same guys, the easier it is going to be to build chemistry. So if you're playing with 3 dudes, and just playing 3s, man, it's going to work your chemistry a lot, and then you find 2 more, and all of a sudden you got a 6s team. You're building that chemistry. It's a lot easier to play with people when you know where your teammates are going to be. Next are his gameplay tips. So number 3, as a center in the neutral zone, you have to be able to shut down the middle of the ice and not let anything through. Let your defensemen handle the boards, but you take the middle. Number 4, in the defensive zone, you have to be able to read plays. Like when the one team is entering the zone and they have a guy cutting through the middle and he's driving to the net, you have to pick him up and take away that passing lane so your D-men can handle the guys on the side of the net. And number 5, when the puck is down low in your defensive zone, you have to cover the front of the net. Stay in the passing lanes, make sure you get any puck that's going to go out front in the net and let your D-men handle behind the net. And he says on breakouts, try to be the easiest and quickest option for your defensemen, so stay low, get open. Don't just stand still. Make sure you're trying to get open in the middle of the ice, but stay low and be an option for your D-men. Next up, we have PTP, and he's a left wing, but also a center and a lefty, but he's the left wing for Composure, and on PlayStation 4, he was on Scouting for Goals, and this past season actually played with me on Continuum. He's regarded as the best left wing in the game due to his offensive awareness, but more importantly, his ability as a defensive forward. He's legitimately one of the 5 guys I've seen be able to consistently snipe goalies. Not only that, he's still a top player when he plays center. He's still a top player when he plays lefty. He's also the proud owner of the phrase, "It's not a turd, it's a rebound shot." He also has some of the highest IQ on the ice, knowing when it's appropriate to take a low shot like that, when to hold the puck, and when to try and force a pass through. And for his first tip, he says, if you're looking to get better and get into the 6s scene, find 5 people that want to grind the game with you and get better and work on your chemistry, because it's a huge thing in 6s. Number 2, he says a lot of players in 6s tend not move the puck very quickly. He says especially in next-gen hockey where the poke check is really good. He says, for example, he sees a lot of wingers, when they get the puck along the boards, they try and skate straight up and just hope they'll get by the D-man, rather than stopping or dropping it back to their D-man to reset. Doing this will keep your possession and give your team the best chance to score. His third tip, establish a good cycle and it'll get the team moving and chasing, and it'll open up a lot of scoring chances. He says the best way to do this is if either winger enters the zone with the puck, they can kick it back to the D or have the center go down low for the pass. And if the winger passes to the center going low, they should always cut towards the middle of the net, giving the center a passing option in the middle. If the center doesn't pass it to them on the cut, they go back down low along the boards and cut back around behind the center for another option to pass to. The center can also hit the DMEN in that situation and go D to D for a one-timer. That's your basic cycle. You just set it up for you. If you're not doing that right now, do it right now for your club. Set that up. That's the easiest way to cycle the puck. And he's only got 4 tips for us, but his 4th and final tip, shoot for rebounds. Rebounds are really effective in sixes, but they're also situational. If you notice one of your players is cutting towards the net with speed and they're behind the D-man, don't be afraid to shoot low at the pads for a potential tap-in for whoever's driving the net. A lot of people in the sixes community are against this style of play, but it works. That's the thing. It also makes the D-men second guess on what the forwards are going to do with the puck. So if they think you're going to shoot a rebound, a lot of top D-men actually turn around and face the goalie, and that way they're going to pick up that rebound, but that opens up a lot of plays now. If you wait them out, you're going to have a really good chance to use that space to score. Next up, we have Gilly, the right winger on Prophecy. And Gilly's just a young little guy. He's probably sick of hearing that, to be honest. But he's already proven to be the best at his position. Some of the quickest thumbs and stick handling skills that I've ever seen, and one of the most frustrating guys to play against as a goalie. I can tell you from experience, he does a really good job of keeping teams off balance by mixing it up. His first tip is puck control and puck possession are huge in ESHL. Limiting turnovers will make a huge difference for your team, so use body position by the boards, and that means face away from the D-man, and it will be hard for defenders to get the puck off you. His second tip, don't pass up on shots. Good shots from the slot will go in this game, and even if they don't, it will open up more things like cross-ice passes and keep the goalie guessing. And I can tell you from experience, one time Gilly's going to shoot short side on me. The next time he's going to shoot far side. And then out of nowhere, the next time, he just passes the puck to an open guy because everyone thinks he's shooting. He keeps everyone guessing. That's the point. Number 3, incorporate things that work for you in your gameplay. He says he likes to use the right stick to stick handle in combination with the 45-degree cuts while he skates. He says movement is key in this game. And what he means by those 45-degree cuts, you'll see a lot of top players do this like wiggle thing where they move back and forth. They're tapping their left stick up and to the left and up and to the right, and they're just feathering it back and forth, and your guy will wiggle, and it gives you a lot more agility. And his 4th and final tip, have set plays with your team. He says for him, knowing where his teammates are on the ice at all times and knowing what they're going to be doing helps him tremendously and helps him win games. And last but not least, we have Sitful, the center for BBB, everyone's favorite team. He's the best offensive center in the game. He does things with the puck that no one else seems to be able to do. He's a top hut player. People say he has the fastest thumbs in the game. It really looks like his guy's stick handling like Patty Kane out there sometimes. He manages to miraculously hut snipe human goalies in ESHL more than anyone else in the league, and he's been a huge part of a BBB core that's seen a ton of success offensively in a game that honestly heavily favors D-men and defensive players. It's unbelievable what these guys do with the puck. And I could only squeeze 2 tips out of this guy because he said it's really not his thing. But honestly, I asked him what he does differently than everyone else. He says the right stick helps, but if you only move it to the left partially, he's a left-handed player, move that right stick partially to your forehand side, and then hold left trigger to make your guy kind of do like a half turn, your guy's going to teleport. And then if you time it up, if you practice enough, you can get used to letting it go too, and your guy's going to wiggle around and turn around, and he's going to be very hard to defend against. And his last and final tip, he says it's all about the grind. Just like everyone else said, grind this game as much as you can, and you're going to get way better. That's it for this video, guys. I hope it helps you guys out. Honestly, we haven't had something like this since Johnny Superbman was making tips videos for skaters. It needed to happen, and it needed to come from the absolute top level of players in this game. So I hope you enjoyed it, man. I hope this inspires a generation of ESHL players in the future. I'll see you guys next time.